Oh yeah. She's rotten. Let's go ahead and get that, I have to get this LP tank taken off. Get these little side covers moved off here and go ahead and pull that whole counterweight off. So I got the covers removed. Got the back radiator cover removed. And that way I can lift straight up without worrying about breaking these plastic pieces. Which is these little guys right here. Looks like someone's got into this one before. Yeah, they sit right here. And yeah, they aren't necessarily in the way, but you can catch them. So took that off so don't break those. And then flop the chain through here. Basket carry that. And I gotta remove the bolts here. And we'll get the crane set up. And fortunate enough for me, my customer let me come inside for this one. I could have done it outside. It wasn't overly cold out today, about 38 degrees or so. Not too bad, but lucky me. So the last job I did, I just required a single wire pick. So I'm going to switch over to snatch blocks. That way I can have a 2-line pick for the weight of this counterweight and the angle I'm at, because I'm inside a building with a shallow ceiling. So I'll be using a 5/16" chain. I believe the load rating on it is about 5,600, and I'm just using the grab hook side. I'll just fish it through both sides and grab a little bit of chain to give myself some maneuvering room. So because I have open grab hooks, I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of wire through the link into the grab hook, and that way if the load goes slack, the link can't slip out accidentally, dropping the load. This crane in its most ideal configuration is good for 6,000. Based on the angle and length that I'm at, on my load chart, I'm good for about 3,600, and this counterweight's only about 2,200, so we're good to go here. Now, just out of habit, I get everything rigged up first before I pull the counterweight bolts, assuming I'm able to do so. It's a good habit to do. Some counterweights actually don't hook on. This one does, so I don't have to worry about it, but just to make good habits, I always pull the bolts last. Now, once I get the counterweight swung out of the way, I'm just going to semi-lean it against this telehandler over here, mainly to arrest the weight so it can't get out of control. And this is a quick job, so I'm just going to leave it rigged up. I don't need to set it down or anything. Yep. For anything medium to small hardware, my Milwaukee M12 is my absolute go-to here. This is a 3/8. That's even better. Right there, just realized that there's no nut on the bottom. It's actually welded to the bracket, which is ideal. I really wish more manufacturers would take the time to weld the nut in place. So if any of you watch Torque Test channel, here's a real life example of adding joints to your impact. Remove some of the torque from your tool, and I had to break the nut loose in order to get that off. And for those of you that are watching this and not necessarily sure what I'm doing, this shiny part I'm removing right now is the muffler. It's rotten out, it's full of rust. And the thing below it there that's still attached is the catalytic converter. At this point, I'm sure you're wondering why I'm voicing this whole thing over instead of just talking to the camera. And the customer I'm inside, and it's real quiet in there, and they're only sitting about 30, 40 feet away from me. And just out of respect and to avoid looking crazy as well, to be talking to nobody, I thought I would just voice this one over. Right there, I finally got the knee pad out. I'm starting to get old enough that my knees bug me on the hard concrete, so I recommend to your younger mechanics, use the knee pad when you can. I need to remove this part. They didn't give me a new one of these. That's unfortunate. For some of the tooling I'm using on this video, I'm using the Expert 3/8 kit. It's like the Mac version of Blue Point. And pretty good kit. 6 mil up to 22 mil, and like 3/8 all the way up to I think it's 3/4, maybe 13/16. Pry that open. We'll do that here momentarily. Let's get this muffler mounted. So we've got right here, I'm getting the rubber isolators mounted. That way the muffler isn't making all kinds of noise when you're revving it and stuff like that, because it does vibrate quite a bit and keeps it off the frame. And then new hardware and everything. One of the tricks to mounting multi-piece items like this, where there's a lot of parts to it, is get everything kind of loosely mounted. Don't cinch everything down, otherwise it can make it kind of difficult getting different bolts in the holes. Now I have to get this off. Got my clamp off. Okay, that fits well. Like that. Now we need to get our rubber stuffed inside here. You'll notice everything on the exhaust is rubber mounted. If it wasn't, it would just be clanging and banging around. So if you ever have a vehicle or forklift or anything like this, that anytime you step on the gas or something like that, you can hear something clanking around, more than likely the rubber isolators are gone on the exhaust. Got it. That's in. Bottomed out. Now that I have all bolts in their locations, I'll go around and cinch everything up tight, now that I know everything fits correctly. Put that on, bottomed out. Cinched it. Swap out to my ultra long 12. Get these cinched down. Now I did bring all new hardware with me. Main reason why is because this place is a little over an hour and a half away. And when you get into these kind of jobs where you can't see anything until you get all exposed, it's best to order all the parts necessary to get the job done to avoid having to come back. There we go. There's a little POV shot of riding the counterweight over to where it's going to get mounted. here I put a little more effort into different angles so you guys get to see different parts of the job. Hopefully it made it a little more enjoyable to watch and smoother transitions. Got it all back together. Let's hear that exhaust note, eh? Let's hear it. Anyways, guys, thanks for following me along. Like, subscribe, comment, share with all your friends, and we'll see you next time.